6 things you should do now to prepare for patch 11.1. That's right, 11.1 is coming out, what is it, February 26th? So a little over a month away. We're about a month and 2 weeks away from this patch dropping as of right now. There's things you could still do. Leveling up alts might be one of them, but maybe there are a few other things. Getting your Cersei siglet together, whatever the hell it's called. Let's see what Dalaran Gaming has to say about things we should do before the big Undermined patch hits.
Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal, and the next major content update preview for the patch 11.1 got so many players excited for the Season 2 of War Within. And it brings with it so many cool updates from much needed class revamps, a brand new zone with a new form of transportation, and so many good seasonal updates for us to dive into as soon as the update is available over on the PTR of 11.1. And it looks like the wait for this update won't be that much longer, with it likely being released based on some of the data mining around February, which leaves us with a handful of weeks left.
By the way, my February 26th date is kind of a guess. I think that's the latest it's going to hit. I think, yeah, that February 25th reset day, 26th, you get in there. What's it called? Possibly February 11th is what I'm seeing also on some forums here. So we'll see, but I think February is a good safe bet.
For us to complete all of our seasonal rewards before they are gone and are rotated with the new mounts, cosmetics, and other rewards of the Season 2 content instead. In my mind, it's never too early to start working on the prep work ahead of the patch 11.1, so I wanted to go over all of the things you should probably start working on and finishing up right now for Season 1 before 11.1 hits us with the Season 2 update. As always, if you guys want to see more updates like these for the War Within expansion, be sure to follow the channel and subscribe, but otherwise, let's dive right in. Let's first go over some of the items that will be going away once Season 2 officially launches, which means you should probably try to wrap up all of your Season 1 rewards before they are at some point going to be made to retire. And when it comes to Season 1 content, we have PvE content, but also PvP, and I want to start off with the PvE first, with dungeons, raids, as well as delves. As for the delve content, you got a number of things you should probably complete, starting with the Season 1 Delver's Journey, which unlocks a variety of different rewards for your mount, but also a couple of fun little toys like the trusty hat, as well as some of the currencies that you can spend with either Sir Finley Merlegaton or
What is this? Currencies?
the Reno Jackson vendor instead. Brand continues to be our follower heading forward into the next season, so it may be a good idea to work on Brand and try to level him up before Season 2 in order to maintain this follower's value, unless they end up resetting his levels for Season 2.
And don't forget, we're going to be able to get some high-level crests from delves. Now, they did limit them. We talked about this yesterday. In the next season, what was it? How many crests could you get a week? Was it 18 or something was the limit? And this is for like the highest level crests you'll be able to get next season. So doing delves at least a few times a week is going to be really good for gathering crests to level up your gear. So that's going to be important.
We'll find out.
So yeah, having a high level brand's going to be good.
If he maintains his levels, it's definitely worth leveling him right now. If anything, it's also worth grabbing all of the curios for him, whether it is the combat curios or utility curios, because a lot of those curios are going to go through a number of revamps, but also you'll get new curios in Season 2, which will likely be better. But if some of the revamps for older ones are good enough, then you'll definitely be still utilizing them in Season 2 of Delves. From Delves, you can also earn a variety of different rewards, such as different back pieces, one of which will be seasonally specific, which is the Zekvir's Raptoral Spine.
Does anybody else not like this thing? I'm not a big fan. I don't like the little spiny boy sticking out. It just looks weird to me. It looks like it's clipping. It looks like a cape that's unfortunately like clipping through a neck piece or something like that, or like this is coming off the back armor clipping through the cape. It's not my favorite. I feel like they could have done a better job with the Zekvir cape, to be honest. But I guess some people like it.
For this one, you have to defeat the special encounter
Some people just like the achievement it's attached
to, which is going to be rotating out in Season 2 with a whole new encounter. And I believe that when that happens, Zekvir will no longer be accessible, so it might be a good idea to get all of your Season 1 Delver's rewards, such as this back piece. Defeating Zekvir and completing the quest for defeating Zekvir also awards you a nice little toy that augments your shoulders with these webs called Toxic Victory. And all I have to do for that one is to complete the quest for defeating Zekvir. There's also Hunting the Hunter achievement, where you need to defeat Zekvir on the highest tier difficulty, which is double ? Hunting the Hunter can be completed with a group of players or as a solo, but if you do defeat Zekvir as solo on the highest difficulty, which is quite difficult on its own,
you get the void thing, don't
you can also earn the Let Me Solo Him achievement. which does give you a nice little feat of strength, but also great.
Does that give you the Void Zeppelin?
See a new version of the Delver's dirigible mount, which is the Void appearance,
I gotta do
which
this.
looks so good. Also has a very eerie sound, as well as these voidy animations that kind of trail off from the jet turbines behind the mount.
I should kill Zekvir. I should. It should be something that I do before the season ends, because the Voidy boy. To unlock Zekvir, what do you got to do? A Delve 10? Don't you got to do like up to a 10 to unlock him or something? I don't know. Someone let me know. What is it? Please let us watch 3 hours of you wiping to him solo. I'll kill Zekvir. I'll one-shot Zekvir. What are you talking about? I am the ultimate. I'm not going to die to Zekvir. He's a liar. You'll never kill him. He does emotional damage and physical damage. It goes away. No, the Zekvir is not going away. It's already confirmed. He is coming back next season, though I think they're going to iterate on him a little bit, change it up a little. But this reward is, I think, going away, because there is a new reward on the other side. So this void-looking Zeppelin thing, this is probably going to go away. That's why I want to do it. You are not prepared? Oh, you really think so?
Waste to this realm.
Rafael Oliveira, thank you for the sub on YouTube. I appreciate that. Welcome to our Scourge. In his dream... Oh, you know what? You guys are really putting me through that challenge right now. What level delve do I got to do? What level delve do I got to do to unlock Zekvir? Because I don't think I've done past a +8. I just did them for heroic gear. A 10? I'm doing it. I'm going to fucking destroy him. One-shot Zekvir today.
But it does look really good, and definitely worth obtaining it. And this mount, it will be one of those items that will be retiring with the end of season 1 of Delves. Outside of Delves, we also get dungeon rewards like the Keystone mount that is available for season 1, which is the Diamond Mech Suit. One of the more unique mounts they've actually added for the season, and the season 2 mount is not going to be yet another mech suit just with a recolor. It's actually going to be an entirely different mount, so this one, I think, could be potentially your last opportunity, unless they end up reusing this model at some point in the future. But as of right now, it doesn't look like that is likely. Besides Keystone...
By the way, side note, I was so happy with Blizzard. I was so happy that they weren't... I thought that we were just going to get a different elemental variant of this mount for the rest of the season. Because you guys remember with Dragonflight, we got the silly little ground mount, which, by the way, the Infinite one is one of my favorite ground mounts I currently have. But all we did was get a recolor of the same mount. We're not. We're not doing that this time around. It's a completely different mount for next season, so I'm really happy to see that, which makes me want this one even more. Because I thought we were just going to get like a gold variant, an onyx variant, a silver. Now I know that we're getting a completely different mount. Makes this one that much better.
Doesn't look like that is likely. Besides Keystone Master achievements, we also have the Keystone Hero achievements, which requires you to obtain at least a plus score of 2500, which will require for you to do some of the higher end dungeons, potentially even a couple of 10s. And when you do a 10 of any Mythic Plus dungeon from this season, you also will learn the dungeon portals to those dungeons. So you'll be able to get portals that take you straight to Grim Batal, or potentially even one of these zones of Shadowlands, like Mr. Tyrannosai or Necrotic Wake, or maybe potentially even the War Within dungeons like Arakara, City of Threads, Stonevault, as well as Dawnbreaker, which are a convenience at the end of the day.
Yeah, I don't have the fucking portals, okay? I didn't enjoy Mythic Plus this season, so I didn't do much of it. I'll get them. I still have time.
Are actually kind of nice to earn once you start unlocking a couple of them, because it gives your character so much mobility, and they are account wide, which is nice for convenience. The Raid of Nuremberg Palace also has a variety of different items for you to obtain, like a unique mount that can drop from any of the difficulties from the final boss of that instance. It's an extremely rare item that can also be obtained from even LFR difficulty, and it is the Reigns of the Serukai Skyraiser.
Why is chat so angry today? Why are you guys so angry? I've been called bald like 17 times. You guys are ripping my IO apart. What's going on? You guys, somebody put some fucking shit in your coffee this morning? The hell? Doing a nice giveaway, man of the people here.
The awesome looking
chat
mount.
being
The only
angry.
one that really has a close-up model to it is potentially just Seasburg, which is a bit of a grind on its own. If you manage to slay the queen on mythic difficulty, there's also a guaranteed mount you can get, which is a more red version of the similar mount. One is a little bit rarer, kind of hard to get, at most cases. The other is a guarantee, but you have to slay queen on the hardest difficulty out there, which is not easy by any
probably not
measure.
going to happen.
Outside of this, it also is an opportunity for you to earn the ahead of the curve or cutting edge achievements. And even if it's just an achievement, which most people don't really value achievements, and this achievement can actually be helpful in the next season, because as you sign up for raid groups or dungeon groups or anything like that, having something that shows you that, yes, I did last season's content and I defeated the final boss
Kinda
can
true.
sometimes help you get into some of those end game groups. So like if you're trying to sign up for a new raid for season 2, you at least have accolades from previous season that you can show off that may end up helping you get into some of the new group content. So it's definitely worth going out of your way to obtain it while you can.
Right.
For those of you that PvP, there's a variety of unique rewards to obtain as well, like the Vicious Sky Flare, which is the season's I guess it's participation mount, or meant to be a participation mount. But for this one, all you have to do is win a bunch of PvP matches while at least 1,000 rating in or higher in
It's an
any
ugly
of the
mount.
categories, whether it is
I'm gonna be honest, that's an ugly mount. Even if I was really good at PvP, which I'm not, other than just 1v1 dueling people from chat and embarrassing them in front of everybody. Besides that, I don't care to PvP much. And even if I did, this mount wouldn't do it for me. This doesn't excite me. I don't like these buggy boy armored mounts.
solos.
The hippo. Now, the hippo was cool. When they had the hippo one, I actually contemplated PvP.
Blitz,
This one, not
RPGs,
so much.
2s, 3s, so it's just all about playing as many games as possible at a high enough rating to help fill out a bar. Aside of this, PvP is kind of like a variety of the basic Hallowfall gear, well, like the blue one, which can either be earned through delves or through world PvP with the bloody tokens, but also the aspirin gear, which you can unlock through honor, and there's a cloth,
Then
leather,
always
plate, and
use
a male version
another
of the
death
Myth
knight.
Jaws coming in with the Prime 5-monther. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
these items. But also you have a
Death
unique
Knight or
elite
Scourge.
sets for PvP as well, which is the class set, and you have the basic version that you can earn for conquest, but also the elite that you get to unlock through a specific achievement, which is unlocked by obtaining the rank of PvP of Rival 1. PvPers can also obtain a unique illusion for their weapons by obtaining a rating of 1950 in any rated
Is that
bracket,
a glowing flame?
as well as a
That looked pretty cool. I haven't seen that before. I didn't even know they get that. It's like a little glowing flame.
bracket, as well as a prestigious
bad.
cloak, which can be obtained from 2100 rating, and a tabard at 2400. Players pushing for Gladiator could also obtain a unique mount for the season, which is a Forged Gladiator's Fellbat, as well as a variety of titles that can be obtained either from rated comp-based PvP, but also solo and blitz-based PvP as well. Outside of seasonal content,
Now this one's much cooler. This is actually a cool mount.
Outside of seasonal content, you should also spend some time prepping all of your characters and even future characters for Season 2 content, with 11.1 bringing in a bunch of new class revamps and so many different improvements
There's a
for a
ton of
variety
shit.
of different classes and playstyles. Definitely worth checking out the blue post with all the new notes available right now on PTR, and those notes will continue to evolve.
I don't know if it's just me. Does 11.1 feels like a relaunch of the expansion for some reason? Now I know like the big patches, a lot of times we get like a new place to go, class revamps and everything else, but for some reason this one feels extra good. Maybe because season 1 was so bad, and I feel like they're going to legitimately try to change things up for season 2 to make it good again. But it's just me. Yeah, it's just me. Okay, never mind, Moishi. Fuck me. I was saying something good about the game. Of course.
That could be even more additions.
Must be
and
wrong
even
if it's
bigger
good.
Revamps down the line.
And
as
I'm excited
well.
for 11.1.
But if you see a class change that you like, whether it is the Druid revamp or the big, let's say, Marksmanship Hunter revamp or something like that, and you're excited about that class and want to give it a go once Season 2 content is here, you might as well start leveling that character before Season 2 arrives. For now, we have access to the 20th anniversary buff, which is only here for a limited amount of time. It is getting actually removed very, very soon. But while it's up, it does make leveling a little bit quicker and easier. You can do your leveling without it, because it's going to be a bit before Season 2 is finally here. But it's a good idea to start working on some of those characters, and at least working on getting them to level 80, maybe getting them some catch-up gear, but patch 11.1 is also going to bring even more catch-up, so it's not like you really need to have the character geared to the teeth unless you really want to. And while waiting for Season 2, you might as well work on the Shadow of Doubt Mound, which comes from
Oh my
achievement
God, I
of
forgot
You
about
Shall
this
Not Pass, which is more or less a completionist achievement for the War Within expansion, or partial completionist since we haven't seen all of the new and future content of War Within. But if you complete the zones for the Castle Gar that we have access to so far, from Dornogal to Ringing Deeps, Hollowfall, Ashgahead, and the Siren Isle, you will get to complete all the achievements for Use Zelna Pass to be able to unlock this new Voidy mount. The achievement results are one of the easier completionist stuff compared to the big meta achievements we've seen for Dragonfly.
No, there was no mount for AOTC. I feel like they usually don't do that until the final season of the expansion. That's the one where we usually get the AOTC mount. There wasn't one this time around.
Lands or Battle for Azeroth. So they're a lot easier in comparison, but it also gives you something to do while waiting for Season 2 content. And you might as well finish out all of the zones while they're here and available. Outside of this, you should also work in collecting all of the different class sets for all the different classes from Season 1, since it'll be a little bit harder for you to obtain those sets afterwards. Like, technically you can still run all the raids in order to try to obtain variations of the set from the LFR, normal, heroic, mythic, but it's a lot easier to get all of these sets unlocked now. And the catalyst will actually be your best friend when it comes to obtaining some of the sets, because it allows you to convert any Season 1 gear of War Within into a tier set equivalent.
I've been doing this, by the way, if you haven't been. I've been doing this for just transmog purposes. Like any piece that I still don't have that I want piece of transmog for, I've been using the catalyst to just convert gear over for transmog, because right now I have my full tier set. I don't need anything else from this. But you might as well use them because the charges are not carrying over into next season.
Opportunity to get a variety of different recolors and variations of those sets. And depending on the type of items you convert, it allows you to get a variety of different versions of these sets. Veteran track gear, which is easily obtained from the Siren Isle, which you could literally just purchase, becomes the raid finder pieces. But if you upgrade it to a higher rank, you can actually get those items on normal track as well. So it allows you to get 2 appearances as long as you have the upgrade currency. Hero track items will take on the heroic version of these sets, but when upgraded all the way to 626, it allows you to obtain the mythic versions of these sets instead. So this way, by taking heroic gear and veteran track gear, it'll allow you to unlock the LFR, normal, heroic, and mythic if you end up grinding out all of the currency and gilded crest and valor stones needed in order to upgrade these items, which seems like a lot to do, but it's going to be a bit before Season 2 is here. And if you're looking to collect variations of these sets, you can start working
that's what it's good for.
Right
Transmog
now, today. Also, War Within and the Worlds of Saga is a more heavily narrative-based expansion, with the storyline, the main storyline of War Within Season 1, actually being surprisingly good, with a lot of players actually very much enjoying it. So if you haven't finished out the main storyline, or maybe some of the side stories, like how you end up unlocking the Earthen Allied race, or even some of the side stories available as of 1107, like the Siren Isle quest lines, or the side quests with the Heronir, or in a little bit we should be getting the Kirin Tor quest lines. All of those quest lines I think are worth finishing up to help prepare you for Season 2, just so you have a little bit better of a context as to how the storyline with the Goblin cartels and
the lore ready
stuff, just so you have better context heading into the next chapter of what will be the Worlds of Saga of the War Within expansion. But as always though, I do want to thank all of you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it or found it informative, go ahead and give it a like. I would very much appreciate it. Join our Discord community where we'll be going over all of the new patch 11.1 stuff and the future War Within updates. Also, let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in the next one.
Nice, yeah, nice little video, I guess, to quickly summarize. What was he saying? Get your transmog straight, get your gear straight, finish out some of the achievements that you want to do. He just reminded me about the Delve thing. I might just run in and do that real quick. You know, as I said before, I'm just going to one-shot Zekfir, so I'm not worried about it. Get in there and do all those things, right? You got some time right now. I think I would estimate you got about a month and a half to get these things done, because I do think that this 11.1 patch is hitting by the end of February at least.